everyone can see me. I don't. I can't see myself properly. Oh, this is gonna be challenging. Okay, let me try and. I don't know if I'm visible or not. I'm trying. If you're watching, can you see me? Like, I'm trying to. Before I start, I want to see if like I'm visible or something like that because I want to start, but like I can't even see myself, so I'm not sure if I'm visible or not. Because it would suck if I go through with this. And okay, perfect. Thank you very much. Ready. So let me get to the to the what do you call it, breakdowns. Thank you very much for that. Um, Budey versus Gaziev. Um, this fight could go either way, to be honest. Budey is on a 12 fight win streak. Gaziev is on an 11 fight undefeated streak. Both have the same number of knockouts. The difference in submissions is one in favor of Gaziev. Gaziev also has a higher finishing rate at 91%, and Budey has 69%. Gaziev also seems to be the more accurate striker, and the grappler as well. So because of that, I'm going to pick Gaziev. My subscribers also went with Gaziev. I wanted to say 70% chance Gaziev wins, but because of both fighters have knockout power, I will say 60% Gaziev. So yeah, on to the next one. Fili versus Almeida. This one is one of those that could be like 50-50 in my opinion, because on the feet I think they are evenly matched, but I would lean more towards Almeida because of his power. In terms of striking, I would lean more towards Almeida because of his power and striking accuracy. On the ground, they are evenly matched, but I think Almeida is a lot easier to take down than Philly, so Almeida will probably be on his back if Philly is smart. The only reason I picked Philly is because of his experience in the UFC. He has fought better competition while Almeida has only had two fights in the UFC and one loss and one win. So I honestly think it could go either way on the feet. Almeida might knock Philly out, so the best place to win for Philly would be on the ground. My subscribers and I picked Philly. On to the next one, Ulanbekov versus Durden. Here's why I picked Durden. On the feet, I think he has knockout power, and although they are evenly matched in striking, I'm leaning more towards Durden on the feet. Ulanbekov is good at taking people down, but Durden is not easy to take down. Plus, Ulanbekov doesn't have the best takedown defense, so I wouldn't be surprised if Durden somehow found a way to reverse a takedown attempt by Ulanbekov. Another thing is Durden's last loss was to Mokaev, which is not that bad. Um, he has won four straight fights since, while Ulanbekov has only had four fights in the UFC. So I'm 70% sure Durden wins this one. My subscribers went with Ulanbekov. On to the next one, O'Neill versus Lipsky. I think O'Neill is better everywhere. The only advantage I think Lipsky has is power. She seems to have the ability to drop people, but apart from that, I think O'Neill wins everywhere. On top of that, the Casey O'Neill has faced and she's faced and beaten better competition like Antonina Shevchenko. Lastly, Factory X has been losing fights nonstop this whole year, which says a lot about the gym because I believe if a few fighters lose, then it's probably their fault. But if a lot of them lose, it's probably the gym's fault. I'm 80% sure O'Neal wins, but with Lipski's power, she might shock us. My subscribers and I picked O'Neal to win this particular fight. Garbrandt versus Kelleher. Honestly, I think both fighters are evenly matched. On one hand, Cody has not been looking great, and the one win he has, it was a decision. However, in this fight, he will be the better striker with a lot more knockout power. Kelleher has fought amazing competition. His last two losses were to Bautista and Nurmagomedov. Before those losses, he was on a win streak. Both are both have terrible takedown. Both have terrible takedowns, like meaning they are not really good at taking people down. But Cody has better takedown defenses, so I don't see this fight going to the ground. Cody has a 70% chance of winning this fight by decision, but maybe he might shock us and get a knockout because he has the power, but I honestly doubt. My subscribers also picked Cody Garbrandt to win this particular fight. Aldana versus Rosa. Honestly, I think Aldana. Honestly, I think Aldana. If Aldana had actually tried to fight Amanda Nunes, she would have won. It is like she somehow got caught up and was maybe starstruck. I don't know. Defensively, I think Aldana is better. Offensively, I think Rosa is the better fighter. She's younger at 28. I think Aldana is like 35 now. But Aldana has fought the better competition. Taking Amanda Nunes and Holly home to a decision is a massive accomplishment, even in defeat. So honestly, irrespective of that, I feel like their achievements and their advantages are so equally matched that the fight could go either way. So, and but nonetheless, my subscribers and I picked Aldana to win this one. Manifield versus Jacoby. I'm 90% sure Manifield wins this one because he's better on the feet and on the ground. And I need people to understand that when I say someone is better on the feet and or rather on the feet, I'm not saying I know that Jacoby is a kickboxer, right? And I understand that. What I mean by that is number one, Manifield is able to avoid getting hit. Number two, he's able to land his strikes. So to me, that's the most important things. I really don't care how many spinning kicks you can land or you can throw, whatever the case is. I focus mainly on are you effective, meaning do your punches land. On top of that, Manifold has the power on top of his accuracy, in my personal opinion. So he's able to stay safe and he's able to land the strikes. So largely because of that, I feel like he will have an advantage in every sphere, whether it's on the feet or on the ground. Obviously, I'm not discrediting what Jacoby can do. Because of his skill, he can maybe, I don't know, surprise us. That's why I said 90% and not 100% because I'm leaving that little space for disappointment, possibly. But in my personal opinion, I feel like there's no way Manifield loses this fight. I know a lot of people are saying, no, Jacoby is the kickboxer, like he's beaten this and that. But I honestly don't see Jacoby winning this one. That's why I'm not even saying 70%, I'm saying 90%. That extra 10% is just so that I don't know, maybe a miracle can happen. But if this gets to a decision somehow, because I doubt it'll get to a decision, if this gets to a decision somehow, I still think Manifield will win this one. On to the next one. My subscribers also picked Manifield to win this particular fight. On to the next one. Emmett versus Mitchell. I'm excited about this fight. I think Emmett has only one way to win, which is a knockout. The problem with that is I think similarly with the description I made for Manifield a little bit earlier on is the same description I'd give to Bryce Mitchell. Bryce Mitchell is not the most dynamic striker, is not the most technical striker, but he's able to land his shots and he's able to stay safe. So for me personally, I feel like um, Mitchell will be able to avoid getting hit with massive shots. And I think the short notice benefits Mitchell, in my opinion, because building a takedown defense, it takes a little bit of time. Like it's something that needs a bit of maybe a month, maybe 2 months, 3 months in order to have a proper takedown defense. And keep in mind that Yair is not a grappler, but he was able to submit Josh Emmett. So on short notice, I think the short notice will favor Bryce Mitchell more than it'll favor Josh Emmett, because Josh Emmett only has power, like a powerful punch, in order to win the fight. Whereas on the other hand, I feel like Mitchell can avoid getting hit, and especially because of how Emmett swings, Mitchell might find a way to actually enter into those swings because he swings really wild. So I personally think the short notice is going to benefit who do you call him? Emmett, no, Mitchell over Emmett. Even though Emmett has had a full camp and all those type of things, I don't think he was preparing to fight someone who's such a heavy grappler in Mitchell. So I'm definitely picking Mitchell to win this one. My subscribers also picked Mitchell to win this one, and the percentage of how sure I am of this, I think 80% Mitchell wins this one. Like I'm so confident in what I'm saying because Emmett is also old at this point. So we're not talking about the same guy who might be able to sustain or might be able to survive for 3 rounds at a high pace, a high wrestling pace. People forget that Den Ige is not 35 yet. I say 35 because once people hit 35, it's the peak. Like once you hit 35, everything starts to decline. Just go back and look at where all the dominant champions who had long streaks, where it ended. It ended around the age. Look at Israel Adesanya, look at Kamaru Usman, look at Valentina Shevchenko. That's one since Amanda Nunes decided to retire because she was approaching that particular age and she was smart enough to know that there's a possibility she could actually lose. So it was intelligence on Amanda's side, and that's why Habib, although Habib retired a little bit too early, but nonetheless he did the right thing because once you get to a certain point, you can't compete at the highest level. Um, but on to the next one, Paddy Pimblett. I'm I feel like I'm going to contradict myself after what I just said right now, but let's go. Um, this is another interesting fight. It's Ferguson versus Pimblett. People were going off on me for picking Tony, saying Tony is done. He can never compete with contenders in the UFC anymore. I disagree. Because one, Paddy Pimblett is still a prospect and not a contender. A contender is someone who is ranked in the top 15. Number two, Tony got to the third round with Bobby Green. Grant Dawson, who is who was ranked the number 10 at in the lightweight division and was in or is in his 20s, was unable to last even 3 rounds with Bobby Green. But Tony was able to get to the third round. So for people to say Tony is done, he won't be able to compete with higher, but again higher level competition. It sounds crazy to me because Tony was able to do that with Bobby Green because Bobby Green is now ranked and he beat the number 10 in lightweight. The lightweight is one of the most difficult divisions, if not the most difficult divisions to get ranked in because everyone is so incredibly talented. But Bobby Green did it. And Dawson, number 10, was unable to last even 3 rounds. So for people to say that Tony's done, he can't compete anymore, I significantly disagree. For me personally, I feel like all round, Tony Ferguson is the better fighter, whether it's on the ground or on the feet. Even when it comes to power, I feel like the person who has the ability to knock out the other one is going to be Tony. What I see as a disadvantage, and that's the only thing I see as a disadvantage, is Tony's age. I honestly don't care about his previous losses because I feel like he put out a good performance for himself. Um, and I like the commitment to actually try and improve himself and maybe train with Goggins. And I know people were saying, "Oh, why is he training with Goggins? Cardio is not his biggest issue." Who said that, guys? Like, did you see the Tony versus Ferguson fight? Like, it was like two old people fighting. So cardio was one of the things that um, Ferguson was lacking. I think people are stuck to the idea of Tony when he was like 31 or 32. The Tony now does not have the cardio that he had when he was 33 or 32. So he had to train with Goggins. For me personally, I think actually the cardio was the problem because the skill is there, just that the problem is the cardio wasn't there, in my opinion. So, and even though I feel like the age is going to be a problem, we saw someone like Nicolas Dalby who stopped Ismail Bonfim, who was like an incredible prospect, who I still think is an incredible prospect, but he stopped him. And I think Nicolas Dalby is approaching 40 as well. So we've seen older fighters actually beat the younger fighters. It comes down to how committed is that particular fighter to actually being uh, in top high level competition or condition, I mean. And I feel like Tony going to Goggins is an example of the commitment that I'm talking about. So because of that, I'm going to pick Tony. I'm going to say he has a 60% chance of winning this particular fight. I'm not discrediting what Paddy can do. He's younger, he's stronger, I think, and he might be looking to prove a point because of how things have been since his last fight. We don't know. It might be what sets him to what sends him to the next level. We don't know, but based on their previous performances or past performances, Tony has fought the better competition, has gotten to an interim title, and he has looked decent. Now, for me personally, he looked decent even against Chandler. Chandler landed a shot that could have knocked out anyone. So I can't really say it was because Tony has lost it. No, it was just because like the shot was really good. But if you look at the fight before that particular kick, Tony was winning that fight against Chandler, who is ranked number 5. So I honestly feel like Ferguson might upset a lot of people. But hey, we'll just have to wait and see. My subscribers also picked Tony Ferguson to win this particular fight. On to the next one. Rachmanov versus Thompson. Unlike Tony, age is one of the disadvantages that Wonderboy has in this fight, such as grappling. And even on the feet, I would favor Rachmanov. Wonderboy might be skilled, but Rachmanov lands with power, is more accurate, and is good at avoiding being hit. And if Jeff Neal couldn't knock him out, then I don't see Wonderboy being able to. I, however, am not saying this will be a walk in the park for Rachmanov because Wonder Boy is extremely dangerous. So I would say 70%, I'm 70% sure Rachmanov wins this fight. My subscribers and I picked Rachmanov to win. On to the next one. Pantoja versus Royval. Another Factory X fighter who I think will lose, Royval. Pantoja already submitted Royval 4 fights ago, which is not enough time to improve for Royval, especially under Factory X, who have been taking massive L's. Um, just last week, I mean, Smith and Gutierrez lost. The Brandage lugged his way into a slam win. So the fighters keep losing so badly. Like I don't see Brendan Royval winning this fight. In addition, I think Pantoja is well rounded. Better is the better fighter. If the fight stays standing, I don't see him getting into too much trouble. Although I will say that I think Royval has knockout power, so Pantoja's safest path to victory is grappling. Even if he doesn't get a submission, maybe tire him out, take away the power to not, and then knock him out maybe on the feet. I'm 80% sure Pantoja wins. My subscribers also picked Pantoja. The main event. Oh, this fight, I've been waiting to break this fight down for a very long time. So, here's the thing. Leon is on an 11 fight win streak. Kobe won one. Most of Kobe's wins were against older fighters and they were decisions. The last time Kobe beat anyone with a win was in 2018. Kobe has no win over the current top 15 and has only about 3 wins against active UFC fighters. Kobe's game and success was built on using his youth against older fighters. That's why he has called that's why he's called the cardio king. That won't be the case here because Leon is younger, stronger, faster than Kobe and with better cardio in my opinion. The trick was only useful against older fighters. That's why for the past few years, Kobe has been fighting only people who are older than him. People try to describe Leon's wins over Usman by saying he had bad knees, as if Usman had amazing knees when he fought Kobe. Leon beat the number one ranked pound for pound champion after knocking out Masvidal, and he beat him twice, something Kobe has never been able to do twice. Usman is the Usman is the same. Like he beat Kobe twice. For me personally, that's an incredibly significant thing because I think Kobe Usman is a better version of Kobe. Here's why I say that, right? Because after when he was fighting Masvidal, even Usman himself said it. He said Masvidal scared him so much that he trained harder, especially in his striking. That's why he was able to get a knockout of Masvidal because he trained his striking, and we saw that striking when he was fighting Hamza Chimaev a bit recently. Even though Hamza's hand was broken, but you could see that Usman was winning the striking exchanges. That's why Hamza Chimaev was forced to grapple with him. So that shows that Usman actually improved his striking during the period that leading up to the fight with Masvidal. That's why he was able to knock out Masvidal. When was the last time Usman knocked out anyone? No one can even remember. I don't even know if he has any clean knockout. So that shows that after within the Masvidal fight, he improved significantly. So people shouldn't say that Leon beat an old Usman because if you look at his performance on short notice against Chimaev, someone who was able to take him down in the first round, Usman was able to survive until the final round. So, and if the fight, I don't like saying things like this, but if the fight was 5 rounds, probably Usman would have won that fight. But nonetheless, there's so many things on the side of Kobe, on the side of Leon, that I feel like people are overlooking. In my opinion, the only way that Kobe is going to win is if he gets if Leon gets robbed because obviously Trump will be there, everything like it's a big deal. So maybe they might lean towards Kobe if it gets to a decision. That's the only way I see him winning. But other than that, I don't see Kobe winning this fight. I think Leon is the better fighter. He's the better striker. I think he can easily deal with the wrestling issue. I feel like he did that when he was fighting Usman. I think Leon is a lot bigger than Kobe. He's a lot stronger. He's younger than Kobe. So I don't feel like, and Kobe doesn't finish fights. You see, if Kobe was a jiu-jitsu champion or practitioner, then I would say maybe he might submit him. But Kobe is not known for submitting people. Like when was the last time Kobe submitted anyone? It's been probably over 5 years, but at this point. So Kobe is not a finisher. So his best way to win would be to get to a decision, and I don't think he wins a decision, even if it gets to that point. So my subscribers and I went with Leon Edwards, and my subscribers picked Leon Edwards, and I picked Leon Edwards. Um, thank you for watching. I'll see you Monday when I react for the last time to this fight card, and I give you my thoughts on that. But I'm going to make sure that the channel keeps on being active from the shorts and standard videos. I have some amazing things planned for you guys. I can't wait to show them all to you. So I'm working really hard to make sure that I produce the most incredible content for you. So, but for now, I think the new content will start playing from Sunday, because after that there won't be any fight cards until next year January on the 13th. So up until then, I'll make sure I keep you guys entertained. I'm going to upload every single day. I'm not going to change anything. Everything that has been happening on this channel is going to continue next year when we come back. But within that period, I'm going to be uploading on a regular basis. I really, really can't wait for you guys to see what I plan for you. Thank you for supporting me throughout this whole year. It hasn't been easy to actually start this channel. Even going live is one of the most difficult things to do, because it's hard to do this. And I appreciate. I think it's ready. Is it still you? Um, oh, Pranay. I hope I'm pronouncing your name properly. Is it still Pranay who's watching? I appreciate you staying on the live up until the end, because it really means a lot to me. Like, it's weird for me to go live and to speak to the camera when no one is watching, but I'm still do. I know people watch after I'm done with my live, but um, it's really kind of challenging to not see anyone on the background when I'm busy doing all these breakdowns. But just like the shorts, just like the standard videos, I know it's going to take time for people to get used to me doing this, and I'm willing to do that. But I appreciate every single person who takes the time to watch me live. I'm working on some incredible things to improve the channel for you guys, and I want you to be part of this whole channel. That's why everything that I do, I involve you, whether it's the awards or whether it's the picks for these fights. And subscribers have been more accurate than me for the past 2 weeks, so that's incredible. I appreciate you all, and we'll see each other in the comment section. I'll keep on being active on the channel. See you Monday. I love you guys. Thanks.